Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to our last featured session, More Than Just a Degree, Finding Jobs in the USA. The highlights for today is, first of all, we will talk about work eligibility as F1 and J1 students, CPT and OPT. And next, we will be talking about how to find on-campus and off-campus jobs. And then we will be talking about Social Security number, SSN. By Social Security number, we don't mean the Social Security number you have at home. It's the Social Security number in the USA. Once you have a job offer, you will need to apply for a Social Security number to pay taxes. And next, we will be talking about a website called Interstride and another website called LinkedIn. Both of these websites are those websites for that will help students find jobs, especially Interstride. The most of the jobs in Interstride offers H-1B visa, which is the work visa after you graduate from UW. So we'll be talking about these two websites, and then LinkedIn has a learning part. You can get some certificates from LinkedIn Learning, so we'll be talking about that as well. Lastly, we'll be talking about resume technique and cover letter writing. In the USA, if you want to apply for jobs, you will have to have a resume, and sometimes the cover letter is optional, but you will want to submit the cover letter as well to make you a better candidate and more competitive candidate. So again, my name is Xunyue Yu. Here's some of my work experiences. Most of my work are on campus. I will be teaching this fall. I will be teaching Korean classes. So if you're interested in taking Korean 101, feel free to, I'll be TAing for that class. And I'm working as a RCG student program manager this summer, and I was working several jobs on campus as a program assistant, program manager, research assistant, and lab research assistant. I had one off-campus internship, so I can share that side of things as well. I worked as research intern in the Seattle Children's Research Institution. So a lot of our learning comes from classrooms, but I feel like there's a lot of learning also we learn the most when we are working. So I believe work experiences and volunteering experiences and research, it's really important things to have both in your resume and also in your life. It teaches you a lot of important skills and get you used to the environment, working environment, and make you a better candidate once you go out of campus. Once you graduate, you will need to find a job. It make you a better competitive candidate in job hunting and major application. But where do we start? Let's start with work eligibility. So first, work eligibility for F1 visa students and J1 visa students is a little different. So let me begin with F1 students. At UW ISS is the office that's in charge of in all of the international students working status, work visa. So when you apply for work, you will have to first check with ISS. For F1 students, we are eligible to work on campus without applying for any. Of course, you will have to apply for the job and get the offer and let school know that you are working, but you have to apply for the CPT or work visa. If you're working on campus, you are only allowed to work part-time if you're a full-time student. By full-time students, it means that you're taking 12 credits and above. So work part-time is 20 hours or less, which is 19. You will want to be staying in the safe side. So working 19.5 hours per week. You can work full-time between quarters and annual vacation quarter, which is a summer break. So in summer break, and winter break and spring break, you can work full-time, so work more than hours per week. To work on campus, there is no extra process required for ISS, but as soon as you get a job, you should obtain a social security number. We will talk about social security number in later today's session. And once you want to work off campus, working off campus is totally different thing compared to working on campus. We will need to apply for CPT. CPT stands for Curricular Practical Training. This is when you are still studying at UW. This is you are still studying and you are still a student and you want to get an off-campus internship or working off campus. So once you have a job offer, apply for a job, have a job offer. So in my case, it was the Seattle Children's Research Institution. I had a job offer and I came to ISS and I applied for CPT. So CPT is a work authorization that allows current F1 students to work off campus. Let's take a look at the CPT webpage together. ISS also has a lot of CPT workshops. So if you are still confused today, feel free to reach out to ISS and attend their workshop as well. So they have this, let me share this link in our chat. I see that we have some questions in the chat. I will be answering the chat questions in after our meeting today. So once I finish presenting. So the link is in the chat. You can feel free to watch this video later. This video is very good, self-explanatory. So basically, once you have a F1 status and completed 1 year, 3 academic quarters at UW, you can apply for CPT. And of course, you have to have a employer, job or internship offer. You need to get the offer letter and then request CPT. But as a freshman in the very first year, you are not allowed to apply for CPT. You will have to complete 1 year of full-time academic study in the USA. If you're a transfer student, your situation is different because you might have already completed 1 year of full-time academic study in the USA. But if you're a freshman, just graduated out of high school, this applies to you, so you can apply for CPT once you have a sophomore year. And the applying for CPT is very easy once you have a job offer. Job offer is the most difficult part of applying for CPT. So first, you will talk to your academic advisor. Everyone should probably already met your academic advisor or know about your academic advisor if you're completed ANO Part 2. So once you have a job offer, you need to talk to your academic advisor and get the approval for your academic advisor. So first of all, the major need to relate to your major or your area of study. And if you have any department. Okay. I apologize. I think I just dropped out of the Zoom. Is the recording still on? Okay, sorry. I'm currently in Xizang, the west part of China, and the Wi-Fi here is not the best. So yeah, let me know if can you guys still hear me presenting? Catherine, am I still talking?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let me continue. Yeah, first of all, you will have to in the CPT, you will have to explain whether this work is related to your major or intended major and convince your academic advisor. So for example, I'm a linguistic major, I can find a teaching job, or I can find a, um, in the research institution, I worked as a I worked as a neurolinguistic, so how brain and language work together. So that will work, but I cannot work as a, like barista. I cannot work, just find a random job in a restaurant or coffee shop and start working. UW will not approve that for my CPT. Hope that makes sense. So your CPT, your job offer, you'll have to somehow relate to your major or your intended major. And once your academic advisor approve that, hey, your CPT is okay, you can request for CPT credits. So your academic advisor will give you detailed information on how you can request for CPT credits. Different major has different requirements. For linguistic major, had to go to different departments to get approved. And once your CPT, you are registered for your CPT credits, you can send the request to UW ISS office and show them your job offer letter, employment details, start date, and share your approval for your academic advisor and this enrollment of CPT credits. And once ISS has all of these materials, you will receive your CPT I-20. And once you receive your CPT I-20, you are allowed to start working. It typically takes ISS around 3 weeks to process a CPT I-20. So make sure if you're thinking of applying for a CPT and you have an offer in the future, you want to apply early. So for autumn 2024, it's earliest possible start date is August 17th.
就是如果说是把它在系统里边的离职日期写成8月1号。
Thank you so much. And if you're applying for part-time CPT, you can work up to 20 hours per week. If you're authorized for a full-time CPT, you can work more than 20 hours per week. And this CPT hours does not overlap with your on-campus hours. However, you do not want to work too much because you're still a student and you want to save time to have your academic and do your homework and study for test and stuff like that. You can work on campus and CPT at the same time. And there's many other Q&As. So feel free to check out this website. The link is already in the chat. Let's move on to our next. We have a lot to talk about today. For G1 students, you are not allowed to apply for CPT, but you are allowed to apply to a thing called academic training. Also similar to CPT, the academic training is a training related to your field of study. It requires authorization from CISS. The process is very similar to CPT, but the name is different. And it could be a form of job, internship, research position, any type of position, but you will have to be related to your field of study. And feel free to Google search UW ISS G1 employment. The page look just like the F1 students page, but there's some details that's different. So feel free to check out that webpage. And if you have any questions related to that, feel free to leave it in the chat. I will have a Q&A session in the very end of the presentation. So part 2, the most important part, how to search on and off campus jobs. Handshake, there's a website called Handshake. It's UW's portal for on and off campus jobs. A lot of the job, internship, and volunteers opportunities are in this website. So let's take a look at UW Handshake. Loading. Yeah, once you join Handshake, it will take you to this page and you will have to sign in using your UW account and make your own account and then start finding. And then let's take a look at jobs. So if you click on the left corner, it shows job search. So as you can see, there's a lot of jobs that's currently open. So UW Libraries has student jobs that's available. And this is the rate, hourly rate. And you can see open to candidates with OPT and CPT. Not only UW, there's a lot of other jobs that's in this website, jobs in Seattle. So you can choose, location, Seattle, Washington, and you can choose whether you want it to be on-site or remote, and whether you want a full-time job. Usually most students begin with internship or part-time job. So you can click part-time, use the filters. And you can see there's a lot of research assistant job, content writing intern. Most students begin with on-campus jobs because it's easier for us to find an on-campus job compared to off-campus job. For example, if you're applying to a big company, Amazon internship, Google internship, and research institution, they will want to look at your resume. But if your resume does not have a lot of outstanding experiences, research experiences, work experiences, they will not choose you. So most students start with on-campus job because it's less competitive and build our resume and then apply for off-campus internship. I think typically students will start to apply for off-campus internship in their junior and senior year. So there's a lot of jobs that's currently available. If you want to start working this fall, feel free to take a look at this website. And you can also search job related to your major, in the business. It has Foster School of Business is looking for students, assistant. If you search, UW Circle, I believe we are. Let me just search a circle. We currently have some openings. Yeah, currently Circle has a peer advisor for Circle Friends position opened up. But this position is open mainly for sophomore and juniors. So it will be less likely for you to if you are interested, feel free to apply, but usually these positions is more open to the upperclassmen. Yeah. So that was UW Handshake. It's one of the portal for on-campus jobs. And you can search for specific employer if you have a specific lab that you want to work for, what company you want to work for, or you can search for jobs related to your major. And some of them are off-campus internship as well. It's not only on-campus job. There's also a lot of off-campus job in this website. The UW Handshake also offers career coaching. So you can explore the website a little bit and, check out their website, check for the employer, they have a lot of videos, so feel free to watch their videos and get some tips on job application. Here's another website for UW. Let me share this. Actually, let me share both websites. UW Handshake. This is HFS. The first link that I'm sharing is this link, UW HFS link, and let me share the Handshake link. Oops. UW Handshake. And this UW, there's a lot of, probably you guys already know about this. There's a lot of student dining halls. There's district markets, there's coffee shops. a lot of the application for those positions are posted in this website. So if you click apply now, you can see that current job positions that's over, dining student assistant, desk services, barista. There's current position that's have opened up, so feel free to apply directly using this website. This is UW Housing and Food Services. All the positions are listed in this website. And most of other job for other buildings on campus like Hub, IMA, all of those jobs are listed on Handshake. So let's take a look at Social Security number. Let's take a look at this page from SS. Social Security number is stands for SSN. It's an identification number that you will have. So all the Americans have a Social Security number. And once we have a job, we can apply for our Social Security number, but our Social Security number is not the same as Americans' Social Security number. Your Social Security number is a little card, it's like a paper type of thing, and then it says Social Security number, your name, your number, and then for work authorization only. So that's how our Social Security number looks like. Social assistance is not a work permit. Once you get the SSN, you can have this number for your lifetime. And if you're planning to get green card or citizenship in the future, you can use this same SSN number. But if you apply SSN using our work job offer letter, it will be SSN Social Security number for work authorization only. The main purpose of this SSNs is for us is to pay taxes. There's a joke in the USA. It's like there's two things you cannot avoid: death or pay taxes. So if you're in the USA, you will have to pay taxes. And the process for applying for SSN is not very complicated. So once you have a job offer, you will have a, either on-campus offer or CPT authorization or OPT authorization. I'll be talking about OPT in a minute. You can apply for SSN, and you will have to, for F1 students, you will have to have your on-campus employment letter. If you're working off campus, you will have to have your CPT, and then there's a list of things you will have to provide. So if you're working on campus, you will get your campus employment letter and get an ISS support letter. You will have to request for this letter through my ISS, and then you will have to fill out this SSN application and then take it to, this is not on campus. This is City of Seattle local Social Security Administration office. So take all these documents with you, take your I-20 with you, take your passport with you, take your I-94 record with you, and go to this office and get it approved. And once it gets approved, they will give you a temporary SSN card, and then they will mail the SSN card to your address. The process looks very different from each, but they are all listed in this website. So let me share this website and let's get moving. This is the SSN website. But our goal today is for you to know, hey, I cannot, just start working. I will have to, if I'm working on campus, I need to let ISS know. If I'm working off campus, I need to, apply for CPT, get SSN, all these things. So you don't have to memorize anything. All of these are in the websites, but it's for you to know. you cannot just start working off campus without us be authorizing. That'll be illegal. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. This is what we just talked about in the website, so let me skip this part. Actually, let's talk about OPT before we go into LinkedIn. So at UW, there is a OPT. OPT is a little bit farther away from us compared to CPT. OPT is post-completion. So once you graduate from UW, you will have, depending on your major, if you're a humanity major, you get 1 year of OPT. So if you have a job, you are graduated from UW and you have a company that wants to hire you for a year, as a humanity major, you can apply for OPT. And for STEM major, you get 2 extra years. So for STEM majors, you will have 3 years of OPT. So because I don't think this is less important for us compare, you will have a lot of other information to explore OPT, but let me OPT in the chat as well. So if you're interested, take a look at this website. But usually, freshmen start with on-campus job and then apply for CPT, do some off-campus job, and then when they graduate, they apply for OPT and then work for a year, and then apply for H-1B work visa. So that's the typical process. Let's take a look at Interstride and LinkedIn. Interstride is a website for job search, and they have a lot of information, including career center and other information. The best part about Interstride is, although it's not sorry, I was somehow the Wi-Fi is so unstable. So sorry about this. So Interstride is one of the job search websites. It has some career center, it has some resources for finding jobs. The best part about this website, this is not the largest website for job search. Most jobs are listed on LinkedIn. But the reason I added Interstride is that most job in this website provides H-1B visa for international student. Not every job is super friendly towards our international student. A lot of jobs will reject us and refuse to provide H-1B visa. But most jobs in this website tend to provide H-1B visa. That's what I heard. Let me add the interest rate link to our chats. Next one. And let's take a look at LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the largest job search platform in the USA. So if you search LinkedIn, there's a lot of jobs that's listed in LinkedIn, but most of these jobs are less friendly towards students. I haven't updated my LinkedIn for a while, but if you go to jobs, you can filter out the jobs that you are interested. I was interested in teaching jobs, so if you see my filter, there's a lot of teaching, but for your filter, it looks very different. You can use your own filter and then let LinkedIn know what type of job you are interested. And there's a lot of opportunities, but a lot of times students tend to a lot of these jobs are full-time jobs. So once you graduate, it's really hard to manage a full-time job and a schoolwork. So a lot of times students tend to use that handshake to find a part-time job during quarters and then use LinkedIn to find a summer internship, or in the summer, because summer you can work for full-time, or once you graduate, use LinkedIn to find your job that will give you OPT. but this is also a resource. Feel free to just Google LinkedIn USA, and it will take you to that page. And LinkedIn also provides a website called LinkedIn Learning. LinkedIn Learning is quite nice because they are free, and I won't log in for now, but they have a lot of online courses. So if you are interested in being trained to some of these courses, some of them teach you like important skills. Let me see. I think my Wi-Fi is quiet. It's not very good right now, so I will skip this part. But if you search LinkedIn Learning, you will be able to see this website, and then they have online classes that you can take and receive a certificate. And you can put this certificate in your resume to polish your resume. Next, let's take a look at our resume and cover letter. So resume is 简历. Let's take a look at resume example. This is a example of an international student. So you can see this is one of the template. There's a lot of template for resumes, but this is just one template. So you begin with your name, email, phone number. You will want to put your education on top for them to see. And if your GPA is very good, 4.0, 3.9, 3.75 and above, feel free to put your GPA in your resume. But if it's not too good, just don't put your GPA. And the students had some advantage towards their languages. So he or she or they added their language on the very top. Underneath, you can see there's relevant work experiences. So depending on the job you apply, your resume should look a little bit different because you want to the speed that the employer goes through resume is super fast. So you want to have the most attracting job experiences or resume experiences on the top. So if, for example, if you're applying for a teaching job, then your resume will be focused on your teaching experience. If you're applying for a research job, then your resume should focus your research experience. Just one example. And the student listed relevant experience and then on the top, and then other work experiences on the bottom. And also listed some scholarship and awards. And for references, if you have a prior work experiences, sometimes the company will ask for references to call your previous job manager and get to know you in a little bit more about you. So it's really important to maintain a good relationship with your manager even after you left the job. And also UW Career Center has a resume template. Feel free to use this template as well. Actually, I think it's the second link. This is also helpful. UW has a career center, and then the first link is the link for career center, and then you can watch some of their featured courses, videos, resources. At UW Career and Internship Center, everything is free. You can get online resume review. So once you write your own resume, you can send it to them. You can click this link and then send it to them and then ask them to review your resume and give you a feedback. And then you can also schedule for an appointment with the staff in the Career and Internship Center. If you can do some drop-in appointments. If you have an upcoming interview and you want to practice, you want to have a mock interview, you can also schedule a mock interview with UW Career Center. It's a very, very helpful center, and everything is free, so it's important that we make the most, utilize all the resources at the center. Here's some of the simple resumes that UW Career Center provides. So I think it's like really good to take a look at their simple resumes. My resumes are built based on this template. So for undergraduate students, oh, it's divided by major. So let's just take a look at the first one, arts, media, and marketing resume. An example. So name, again, name, email, phone number, address, qualification, education, relevant experience, project experience, and honors. As you can see from both of this resume, your resume shouldn't be too long. You want to keep your resume under 1 or 2 pages because your companies do not spend a lot of time in your resume. They might spend I think the average time that the company spends is around 3 minutes. So in 3 minutes, the company will look through your resume and decide whether keep you to for the second round or not. So it's really important for you to polish your resume and have it in a easy to see format and list out all the important things. But also sometimes if you list too much things, you might be a little too busy and a lot of times the employer just won't read it. So it's important, for example, you highlight things, bold, make something bold, leave some room in between. And let's take a look at cover letter. I think most of us are more familiar with resume, but cover letter is a little bit different. In the USA, once you apply for a job, most job will require for a cover letter. Again, this is another student's cover letter that's applied when the student is like applying for a circle job. Cover letter is basically a letter that you write to the company to say, hey, here's a little bit more information about me, and please read this. So you will want to make it again concise within 1 page, but also mention some of the things that highlight things from your resume and mention some of the things about yourself that make you a stronger candidate for the job. So your company will read the resume and then the cover letter. So this, as you can see, this is a letter format. So date, address, dear hiring manager at Circle. This student is applying for a PCL position, and this student highlighted, hey, I'm an international student. I interacted with Circle, and I'm passionate. And then student leadership, cultural experience change, and then highlighted some of the skills. Trilingual, speak English, Mandarin, and Malay. And offered an example of their previous work experience, some of their other volunteer experience as well. So basically, a cover letter looked like this. You begin with introducing yourself, and then talk about your advantage, talk about your previous work qualification or skill set, and then talk about why I am a good fit for this job, why you should choose me and not other students or other candidates. So this is a cover letter. A lot of the jobs says, I think nowadays most of the jobs require for a cover letter. But sometimes you will encounter for a job that says cover letter optional. If it's optional, you should write the cover letter because I I've been in those like interview before. I was the interviewer. I interview other people, and the first thing we do is that interview place. The first thing we do is if the student does not write cover letter, we put it in the batch that we unless the student has like a super good resume, super outstanding experiences, we do not take a look at that student because writing cover letter is also showing an effort. If you are not even showing an effort to write cover letter to apply for this job, how can we trust you that you will succeed this job and put your best in this job? That's some of the thinking process of the employer. So once if cover letter is optional, make sure you write that cover letter. Based on my previous experience, cover letter is very important. And let's go to Career Center also offers drop-in coaching. That's we'll take a look at your cover letter. This is the same link that I provided. The Career Center also look at your cover letter and give you feedback to your cover letter. So if you have any questions or concerns or uncertainty about your resume and cover letter, feel free to reach out to the Career and Internship Center. Everything is free and they have a lot of workshops and events, online resume review, coaching, career coaching appointment, mock interviews, job search, career guide, job fairs and preparation. All of those things are available through our career and internship center. If you're not ready to work yet, there is a lot of opportunities at our center for learning and diversity. Let me share this link in our chat. This link leads you to all of the UW volunteer opportunities. So they have community-based courses, they have different projects that you can involve. There's a lot of programs that you can engage in and involve and volunteer. If you are interested, feel free to take a look at this website. UW Circle also have a lot of volunteer positions that we will train students, their leadership experiences and program experiences. The volunteer name is called Circle Ambassadors. Our applications are coming up really quickly. I will be sharing the details in our RCT group chat. So make sure you monitor if you're interested, make sure you take a look at that application, take a look at the RCT group chats. Here's some other available jobs on campus based on your major. This is a handshake. I think some of the major that's I will skip for the time's sake. This is already for the 11:46. So for the time's sake, I will skip the handshake jobs, but let me show you guys how to find the departmental job. So if you search, let's say Foster, School of Business, student jobs, you just Google, you can see that a lot of departments, some departments use handshake. Some departments will list their jobs in their websites. And for example, different schools, different major might have their own career center and career website. So like this is student job opportunity at Foster School of Business. So you can see different listings. So Google is also really good in resources and you can just search. So you can search, for example, I don't know, linguistics. I'm only familiar with my major, linguistics, student jobs. And then my departments, I don't think they have jobs listed in their website, but they will have different resources to help you find a career and different courses that will help you succeed in job search and job resources. Different major, depending on your major, some of the larger and popular majors have their own job listing. So feel free, it doesn't hurt to check it out. Feel free to search and check out your major of interest. And that's it for today's session. I will stay for Q&A. If you're interested, feel free to um, raise your hand and ask for questions. I will be answering all the chat questions in the chat. Today is our last feature session, more than just a degree. But coming up, our RCG is not ending yet. Coming up, we have this weekend, Week Fun Activity 5, lead by David. This weekend activities is a very fun session. So it will be giving you tips on how to make friends, find communities, different students registered association, and different circle programs like Circle of Friends programs. And we will be having core session number 5, Arrival 101. I think this is a super helpful session if you guys are interested in learning, how to get from airport to UW campus, what happens during moving, if I want a cell phone number in the USA, what should I do if I want to start a debit card, credit card? Feel free to attend your Arrival 101 session with your PCL. Our closing is it's a really fun session. It's a lot of different fun games for students to connect with each other, and then we will give out some prizes. We have different prizes like umbrellas. So if you're interested, please come to our closing as well, and we can begin our Q&A.